Okay, welcome back to another session, Learning Sefer Pitchei Chotem. Baruch Hashem, we are back in the Hafter Media Lab. Thanks again to our producers, Matt Levine and Zach Newmark, for putting this together. I appreciate it very much. Let's get started. It is Parshas Boy, and we have a Gevaldige Torah from Rabbi Yaakov on Chodesh Zelachem. Just a reminder, if you want to see last year's Torah, which was also pretty awesome, you could check out Yisachar Blinder on YouTube. It's got all the YouTube video, all the previous shiurim are there. You could check out, look for Parshas Bo. And this year, we're going to give you another one. So here we go. Parshas Bo. Chodesh Zelachem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, this month is for you Rosh Chodashim, to be the beginning of the months Rishon Hu Lachem L'Chodshei Hashana. Now, Rabbi Yaakov has taught us many times about the importance of the Shechina, and our job is to make sure we protect the Shechina, and we do what we can to let the Shechina flourish. Shechina is HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence in this world. And there is a connection, says Rabbi Yaakov, between the mitzvah of HaChodesh, the mitzvah, the moon, really, and the Shechina. And his first remez, Rabbi Yaakov teaches us, is in the words Lachem Rosh Chodashim, are the Rashi Tevis. The first letter of each word spells out Rachel. And Rachel is the mother, is the one of the imahis that represents the concept of Shechina. So already we see that there's a focus. The mitzvah here that Kadosh Baruch Hu is giving us and is to focus on the Shechina. Yaakov Avinu, before he died, in Perek Memtes, when he gave the brachas to his children, he also warned them about the Shechina. And we know that because the Zohar tells us that the word Zeus is a siman. When the Torah uses the word Zeus, this is a reference to the Shechina. And he told Kol Eila Shivtei Yisrael Shnei Masar V'Zeus Asher Diber Lehem Aviyem V'Yivarech Yisam Ish Asher Kiver Chasoi Beirach Yisam. The focus on the Zeus is reminding them, you have to keep in mind in all of your avodah and what you're doing, you have to keep in mind the Shechina HaKadosha. And we are familiar with the pasuk. How do we protect the Shechina? V'Zeis HaTorah. Again, the Torah putting V'Zeis next to Torah, telling us that it's through the Torah that we're able to protect and take care of the Shechina HaKadosha. Another remez, Rabbi Yaakov tells us in the Parshas of Chodesh, Zelachem Rosh Chodashim, Zelachem Rosh Chodashim is Seifei Tevis. If we take the last letter of each word there, is Shin Mem Mem Hey, spelled equals 385, which is the gematria of Shechina. So the Chodesh is there to teach us about the Shechina. And what does it mean? HaChodesh HaZelachem Rosh Chodashim. Listen to this beautiful idea. Rabbi Yaakov says, I'm Rabbi Yitzchak. This is the first Rashi in the Torah. Rashi wants to know, really, the Torah could have began with HaChodesh HaZelachem. Shehi mitzvah rishayna shenistava Yisrael. And frankly, Rabbi Yaakov, what? It's not the first mitzvah the Jews were commanded. We had Pur Ravu, we had the mitzvah of Mila, we had Gira Nasha. What does it mean it's the mitzvah rishayna? Says Rabbi Yaakov, the idea is as follows. Chodesh is what we have to keep on our rosh at all time. Not that it's the first mitzvah, but it's the mitzvah that always needs to be in our head. We always have to keep it in mind. Chodesh hazalachem rosh. We have to keep this at the forefront of our mind. What about it? We have to keep in mind that we're here, we're working for the Shechina. We're here to make sure that the Shechina is elevated, is protected, and that's done through V'Zeis, through keeping the mitzvahs properly. That's what it means, it's the mitzvah Rishon, it's the mitzvah we have to keep on our Rosh. All of these, Yareach, Levana, Sohar, these are all names of the moon, and they all have a special significance referring to the Shechina itself. And the Mekubalim have taught us that every time we do a mitzvah, we have to say L'Shem Yichud Kutshabrechu U'Shechintei, because this needs to be on the forefront of our mind. It has to be Rosh Chodashim, the Chodesh, the idea of the Shechina needs to be on our Rosh. It needs to be the mitzvah Rishon. It needs to be on our mind at all times. Now there's a shame, Kel Adnos, Aleph Lamed, Aleph Daled Nun Yud, which in its fullest extent, when it's the kiyum, or the fulfillment, when we have the Shechina in its glory, is this shame of HaKadosh Baruch Hu shines. And Rabbi Yaakov says it's merumez in HaChodesh as well, this shame. Because if you look, HaChodesh, spelled out b'molei. Molei means you spell out each letter. So hey is hey, ches is ches yud, tough. And you take the seifei tevis, the last letters of that miloy, you get tough nun hey. Plus 1 for the word itself gives you 856. And if you take the shame kel adnos and you spell it out b'miloy, you spell out each letter fully, it gives you the gematria of 856. That means hachodesh, the idea of this mitzvah of hachodesh, and the idea of taking care of the Shechina is what will bring to the fulfillment and the gilui, the full revelation of the Shem HaKadosh of Kel Adnos. Now, Rabbi Yaakov teaches us that the nekuda that we have to take to heart here is HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem Reish Chadashim, is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always giving us opportunities to begin again, to start fresh. And that's really the idea of the moon. Through its cycles, always starting again. And there's constantly Reish Chadashim, L'Chodesh Hashana. There's always newness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us opportunity to renew ourselves. And this comes weekly, daily, monthly, yearly. And its merum is in the pasuk as well. Lochem Reish Chadashim is Seifei Tevis, is Mem Shin Mem equals 380, which is a shavua, a week. Is 378 plus 2, is a week that gives us the Seifei Tevis of Lachem Reish Chadashim. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us every week you could start again. And Hu L'Chodesh Hashana is the Rashi Tevis, Hey Lamed Lamed Hey, which is 70, which is the gematria of Leil. Every night, the beginning of the night, you could start again. And the Seifei Tevis of Hu Lachem L'Chodesh Hashana is Aleph Mem Yud Hey, which is 56, which is Yom, telling you every day you can start again. L'Chodesh Hashana and Rosh Hashanah is a special time where we start again the year, and we have special tefillas, and we have a special avodah for the beginning of the year, because it's time to start fresh. And HaChodesh Hazeh, Rashi Tevis Shin Hey, the Seifei Tevis of HaChodesh Hazeh is Shin Hey is 305, which is the gematria of Kapara, because every Rosh Chodesh is a time for Kapara, of atonement, where we can start fresh and we can start new. And that ends Hu Lechem L'Chodshei, again a reference to Rosh Chodesh when we say Hallel. And if we take the Chizuk from Rabbi Yaakov, and we take the lesson of understanding that the Chodesh is there for us as a remembrance of L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Baruch Hu Shechinte, to allow ourselves to always focus, to put the Reish, to put in our mind, to put in our head, is the Shechina, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shechina. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us so many opportunities always to begin anew. And if we continue, and we begin, and we start again, and we start fresh, we have kapara, and we'll be zeicha to sing Hallel. Have a wonderful Shabbos.